For more tutorials, videos, and reviews, check out creatingtracks.com.
Hey guys, welcome to creatingtracks.com, and this is what we did last week. All right, and today we're gonna make this acid lead or pluck, so check this out. All right, and here is what it sounds like with the drums and bass. All right, sweet. So I have Massive loaded up in this MIDI track, and this is a two-part series. And in the first one, we're gonna go over this Massive preset. And in the second part, we're gonna go over how to make this instrument rack with all these effects, and also how to think of MIDI notes and how to come up with MIDI patterns. So what I'm gonna do is go to File, New Sound, and then we're only gonna be working with one oscillator. So let's turn the other two off if they're on. And we're gonna pick an electric, and then let's make it bend minus, bring down the WT position all the way, and pitch it down by an octave by alt-clicking and dragging your mouse down. And then we're only gonna be using the first filter, so make sure this is going to filter 1, and the other two oscillators are off because we don't need them. And then we can grab a modulation oscillator, pitch that down by an octave, by alt-clicking and dragging, and then phase the first oscillator and bring the phase to 9 o'clock. And this is what we have so far. All right, and then we'll send this to our return track with a delay on it. And we did the same thing in our bass tutorial from last week, where we sent our bass to this return track with an EQ and a compressor with sidechain on it, and then we made the delay 3 and 4. So we're gonna do the same thing for this and send it to the delay. All right, now this is still not sounding anywhere close to what we're trying to do, so we're gonna go ahead and turn on these inserts at the bottom, so both of them. The first one will pick a parabolic shaper, the second will pick a sine shaper, and out of these 4 knobs, the first 3, we're gonna turn them all the way up and let the drive for the sine shaper be where it is. So let's turn them all the way up, and then in the routing tab, we're gonna change the insert to over here. So just click on that. And we also want to turn down our master volume because it's going to be a little louder. So let's bring this down a bit and check it out. Now we can go to our voicing tab and make this 2 voices, make it monophonic. And then let's turn on the pan position and make it wider. And I'll keep it on the right side. All right, so this still doesn't sound anywhere close to an acid sound. So let's pick a double notch filter, bring down the resonance, increase the cutoff to a little over 12 o'clock, and then turn on the EQ and increase the high shelf. So most of our acid sound will come from this LFO over here, and we're gonna use both of our waveforms on the top and bottom. So on the top one, let's pick an expo down ×2, which is essentially an ADSR, something like this, but we need it on a loop, so we want an LFO for that. And then on the bottom one, we'll just pick 100%, which is a straight line at 100%. And then the crossfade will bring that down to about 25%. And then let's turn on the sync. Let's bring it down to 1/2 and make sure your restart is on. And then we'll grab the LFO and place it on our resonance. And check this out. All right, sweet. And now let's pick this LFO and place it on the cutoff, increase it just a little bit. All right, we can also place this LFO on the phase over here and bring that down. All right, now let's modulate our pitch using the second macro. So we'll place that on the modulation oscillator and the first oscillator because those are the two oscillators we're using, and increase those pitches by 12 half steps. And the third one we're going to use on our reverb. So let's add a reverb on our effects one, bring down the dry wet all the way, and place the third macro on the dry wet, increase that almost all the way up. And the fourth one, we'll place that on our resonance and increase that to about halfway. And then we'll also place that on our cutoff, bring that down to about here. And then we have our reverb over here. So we'll name that reverb. The second one, I'll name it pitch. And then the fourth, I'll name it filter. And check it out. And let's also bring down the low shelf and the EQ, because we already have our bass taking care of the low end, and then the filter. Now you can hear that it's getting too dirty and distorted at the top over here. So we'll grab an overdrive from our audio effects and bring down the Q to about 1.3, 1.2, and then we'll let the frequency be at 1.1, increase the drive and tone all the way, bring down the dynamics to about 23%, and we'll change the dry wet to 15%. All right, and now I'll just drag this MIDI clip to my track and all right, and now here is everything together. And if I turn on the sidechain over here, it's going to blend in a lot better. All right, so sounds pretty good. And in the next tutorial, we're going to go over how to add our own effects from Ableton into our audio track, then combine those effects into an instrument rack so you can control all of them. And then we'll learn how to use our bass MIDI notes to come up with a MIDI pattern like this. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe to our channel for a lot more. And we will see you next time. Peace.